ladies and gentlemen. It's Robert McLeod Jr. And listen, I was asked a couple of questions today, and one of them was what I thought about the Georgia legislature passing the basically a constitutional carry on campus. This is provided you're 21 or older and you have a concealed carry permit. You can carry everywhere but the dorms and the sporting events and the frat houses. So basically anywhere on campus you can carry your pistol now. But those of you that's been following me for a long time, I've always heard me speak about actions and reactions. And a lot of you remember probably about 20 years ago they started pushing for this thing for everybody to have a concealed carry permit if they wanted to carry a pistol. And every time they implemented another background check or another stipulation or another law against the Second Amendment, the crime rate went up. And in your smaller communities and your smaller towns, the police forces were already overwhelmed with calls. Then you have the gangs start moving in, and now the police forces are just overwhelmed. Well, a lot of police officers now are telling people, arm yourself up. You know, calling 911 is one thing, but it may take us minutes to get there when seconds is needed to protect your life. So what we're starting to see now, we had that action of everybody having to get a permit and less people carrying, crime rate going up. Now comes the reaction. Crime rates are sky high. Police officers are overwhelmed, they're underpaid, and now they're starting to tell people, arm yourself. And we're seeing a lot of states go back to constitutional carry. It's high time that maybe the next president takes into consideration a nationwide constitutional carry. And I know that the liberals' heads are going to explode on this one. You're just calling back the old Wild West days. Well, there again, that action and reaction. Okay? The action that the criminals now think they can get away with shooting people. You start dropping them in the streets, judge and jury, executioner, on the spot. They get it through their thick skulls that they pull a gun out to shoot somebody, they're liable to get shot. You're going to get their attention. And what do criminals fear the most? They don't fear police officers. They fear an armed civilian. Just ask a criminal. Ask somebody in prison. Do you fear a cop or do you fear the armed civilian? The reason they fear the armed civilian is because they'll shoot. They'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And police officers have to respect your rights. I've had police officers sitting in here talking with me, tell me, say, look, even though I know he's a thug and a criminal, he's still got rights. Well, the armed citizen ain't worried about his rights at the moment because he's got a gun pointing it at me. I'm going to drop him in his tracks and I'll worry about taking care of this later. And dead men tell no lies. And the other question that was asked of me today is, why am I so dead set against Trump? Well, I'm just going to give you the biggest reason of all. Let's make America great again. Well, Mr. Donald Trump, I don't know what country you've been living in, but if you think there's a country better than the United States of America, feel free to go there. The United States of America is my country and a whole lot of other people's country, and it's the greatest country in the world already. We just have some people up there with some twisted ideas in the back of their heads thinking that their security is more important than their liberties. And then we got another group that thinks all their reason for being on this earth is to make more money. Not everything is about money. And you saw what was going on in Oregon. The Bureau of Land Management has been stealing the ranchers' land. The federal government has been stealing land. Donald Trump feels it's okay for the federal government to retain this land because he thinks the federal government will control it better than the states. And that's on the record. And that's two big things I have a problem with Donald Trump. And the third, not last but least, we have a problem on our border. The Obama administration, instead of allowing the Border Patrol to do their job, he told them to stand down. He even defunded part of their stuff for the bullets, the weapons, the vehicles, their man hours, basically leaving the border wide open, and then visited Mexico and said, come on over, boys and girls, come on. I'm going to give you all amnesty. We have a border patrol. We have laws on immigration. The president's primary responsibility is to execute the laws faithfully and to the best of his ability. Not ignore the laws, circumvent the laws, override the laws, or write laws. And as far as his pen and his phone go, the executive orders do not mean anything once he's out of office. Executive orders, just like he wrote them, can be wrote away. Y'all think about it. That's Redneck's Thought today. And as always, have a blessed day.